Hello everyone, once again welcome to my channel EduLive. Now in this video I'm gonna discuss with you about the different aspects of the story that is in our ICSE class 10 syllabus, The Little Match Girl. In this particular video we will learn the different aspects and will try to present a critical study of the particular story by Hans Christian Andersen, The Little Match Girl. Now before we get started with the video, like the other times, I would like to request you to subscribe my channel for getting more such relevant videos, and I would also like to request you to like the video and share it among your friends if you find it helpful. So let's get started. Before dealing with the different aspects of the story The Little Match Girl, it is customary for us to know something about the author Hans Christian Andersen. So Hans Christian Andersen, he is an author from Denmark. So he is a Danish author who was born in the year 1805 and who died in the year 1875. So basically he is one from Denmark, and although he wrote quite a few novels, poems and plays, but he is best remembered for his fairy tales, which exceeds 3000 in number, and his fairy tales have an universal appeal to readers of all generations. Now if you want to know about some of his best works, we must mention made of The Little Mermaid, The Ugly Duckling, The Little Match Girl, the story that we are going to deal with today, and many more. Let's know about some of the general information about the story The Little Match Girl. So it's written by Hans Christian Andersen, and the story was published in the year 1845, and the story was published in a particular section, that is Dansk Folkekalender. It is actually that particular place where that story was published, Dansk Folkekalender, for 1846. And then if you want to know the literary type of that particular creation, it is a short story. So A Little Match Girl, it is a famous short story by Hans Christian Andersen. Now here I have given you a brief overview of the story. Let's see. Actually the story is about a girl, about a poor neglected girl who dies out of and hunger in the New Year's Eve. So it is the short story is about, actually begins in the New Year Eve, so it gets started on the New Year Eve, in the last day of the old year, when all others are actually busy celebrating the New Year's Eve. And at that time a poor hungry girl is out into the street and she is bareheaded and barefooted, and she is out into the street selling candlesticks in that evening. No one has bought a single matchsticks from her, so she has been actually out to sell those matchsticks. She has been out into the streets for selling those matchsticks, and no one has bought a single matchstick from her, and she is shivering in cold and huddles in shelter in a corner formed by two houses on the roadside. Then she lights a match to keep herself warm, and in the glow of the light of the match, she finds that she has a vision of a beautiful fireplace with brass knobs and brass ornaments. As the first light goes out, she lights 3 more consecutive matches, and in the glow of those 3 consecutive matches, she seems to have 3 different visions. In the first one, she has actually the vision of a roasted goose that seems to approach her. Then she has the vision of a beautiful and lovely Christmas tree, and in the final vision she finds a loving and caring grandmother. Then at the vision of her grandmother, in the last vision where she seems to find her grandmother, the little girl wishes to join the company of her grandmother. Then she doesn't want her grandmother to disappear as soon as the match goes out. For that reason, the girl lights all the matches in the lovely blaze, and in the lovely blaze her grandmother takes her along, and both grandmother and the little girl rise up towards heavenly joy and glory. And finally, the next morning, when the new year begins, on the very first day of the new year, people discover the girl frozen to death and huddled in a corner. But still there is a smile on the lip of the girl. So although the girl is dead and people discover her huddled in that corner of the roadside the following day, on the very first day of the new year, but still there was a smile on the lips of the girl, though she was dead. Now let's learn about the background and setting of the story. So if we want to know about the background of the story, we must remember that the story is set on the backdrop of a New Year's Eve, when everyone is busy celebrating the coming of a new year inside their cozy homes. It is the last day of the old year when the story begins, and the new year is to follow the next day. Therefore, it is a mood of festivity that portends the whole story. That is the background of the particular story, the Little Match Girl. Now, if we try to know about the setting, if we try to analyze the setting of the story, we must bear it in mind that the beginning of the story is set on a street in the evening of the last day of a year, and the rest of the story has its setting and location on a roadside corner formed by two houses where the girl huddles in shelter, and even the following day where she dies, and even the girl's body is found in the very same place. So the rest of the story is set in that corner formed by two houses on a particular roadside where the girl takes shelter that evening in order to protect herself from cold. Now let's know about the characters in the story. We all know that the main character, the central character in the story is that the girl. So the little girl is the central character and in the story, and she is the only potential character in the story. We although have characters like her grandmother and her father, but they do not appear in the story, especially her father do not appear in the story in that sense. So the girl is the only potential character in the story, and the girl she is also the title character as well as the protagonist or the central character in the story. Now if you want to know about the girl more, she is poor, hungry, and actually shivering from cold. Then she is out into the street in that cold evening of the old year to sell matchsticks, and at the same time she is barefoot and bareheaded. So there is nothing, actually there is not enough clothes to protect herself. So even she doesn't have slippers. Earlier she had slippers, but at present when the girl is seen, she has no slippers on her feet. Then we have, she has not earned even a single penny that day because no one bought even a single matchstick from her. So she has not earned even a single penny. That is why she is afraid to return to her home empty handed, because she knows that if she returns without earning a single penny, then definitely her father is going to beat her. So she is afraid even to return to her home. Then out of cold, she huddles in a corner formed by two houses. Now the girl is she's feeling so cold that she's feeling terribly cold. Then in order to protect herself, what does she do? She takes shelter in the corner formed by two houses on the roadside. Then she lights a match one after another. She lights matches one after another to warm herself and has some beautiful visions. So in order to get rid of the clothes, in order to get rid of the cold, the girl lights the matches one after another, and in the glow of the matches she seems to have 4 consecutive visions, and in the final vision the girl finds her caring and loving grandmother in front of her, and ultimately in the final vision she joins her grandmother in heaven. In the last morning, when the new year comes, when the first day of the new year begins, it begins with the discovery of the death of the little girl. In the morning, the little girl is found frozen to death. Now let's learn about the other characters in the story. The other characters except the little girl, they include the girl's grandmother and the girl's father. So if you want to know about the girl's grandmother only appears in her final vision only towards the end of the story. And the girl's grandmother, actually she is seen dead, and she is the person who is only loving and caring to the girl. And in the end of the story, we find the girl is joining the company of her grandmother. Her grandmother takes the girl in her arms and flies higher up towards heaven. So this much about the girl's grandmother is given. Now if we want to learn about the father of the girl, although he is not directly present in the story, but he is mentioned and he is presented rather as a wicked and vile character. So the father of the girl is an offstage character in the play. Then He is shown as a rather harsh and wicked character who sends his little daughter to sell matches instead of sending her to school and protecting her from severe cold. So that was a very wicked thing from a father, that instead of protecting her from cold and hunger, the father has sent off her girl to sell matchsticks and earn some money. Now, if we want to talk about the visions of the girl seems to have 4 consecutive visions, and whenever she lights a match, she seems to see something. So let's begin with this. For the first time, when the girl lights a match, she seems to have the vision of a fireplace. So to keep herself, the girl lights a match, and in the glow of that light, she seems to find a beautiful warm fireplace, and she seems to find that she is sitting just beside the fireplace with actually knobs and ornaments. And right at that time, whenever actually just at that moment when she finds that she had already stretched her feet to keep themselves warm, just then the light actually goes off, the match goes off. Now let's move on to the second vision of the girl. The second vision of the girl, when she lights the second match, she seems to have the vision of a roasted goose. The second time the girl lights a match, it seems to as if the grease actually wall of the concrete wall of the houses seem to become transparent in the glow of the match, and through that transparent wall she finds a beautiful table with white cloth on it, and a roasted goose has been played with forks and spoons on it. And more interestingly, the goose seems to jump down from the table and approach her. So if we want to talk about the implication of these 2 visions, the first vision of the fireplace, it indicates that the girl is actually desperately needing, she is in desperate need of warmth at that time, in that particular evening. And if we want to know about the implication of the second vision, we must understand that the second vision of the roasted goose suggests that the girl was terribly hungry. Now, as far as the third vision of the girl is concerned, when she lights a match for the third time, she seems to have the vision of a large, beautiful and lovely Christmas tree. The third time the girl lights a match, she finds in her vision the loveliest Christmas tree she had ever seen. She also finds 1,000 candles on the tree branches and colored balls hanging from them. The girl tries to reach them with stretched hands, but just that moment the match goes out. Now, what is the implication of this kind of a vision? This vision of the girl indicates the mood of festivity all around. Now, as regards the fourth vision of the girl and the final vision of the girl, when the girl finally lights the match or the fourth match, she seems to find in front of her dead grandmother. In the final vision of the girl, she finds to have her grandmother in a shining look. It is in his final vision that she is taken by her grandmother into her arms. The girl follows her grandmother to heavenly pleasure and glory that night that might never end. So what is the implication? What is the significance of this vision? This vision tells us about the deliverance or emancipation of the girl from the clutches of sorrow, misery and suffering, and she is lifted or elevated to a new plane of infinite joy and glory. Let's look into the themes of the story. So what are the possible themes which Hans Christian Andersen deals with in this particular story? So basically we see the chief or the central theme of the story is deprivation and lack of human compassion towards those who are less privileged than us. So here the setting of the story, we all know that it is set in the New Year's Eve. So when all others they are busy celebrating the particular grand occasion inside their cozy homes, a little girl who is unfed, who is poor, hungry and neglected, she is actually out into the street to sell the matchsticks. So this is basically deprivation and lack of human compassion and sympathy towards those people who do not have much like us, who unlike us do not have much, or who are less privileged than us. This is the central theme of the story. Now going into detail, again we have coldness that leads to the death of the girl. So coldness is also persisting theme in the story. It is out of this coldness that the girl ultimately succumbs to death. Then we have hunger and lack of warmth. Hunger and lack of warmth that the girl ultimately has. So this is hunger. The girl is always hungry and she is lacking warmth, means she is feeling cold. So ultimately these two are also two of the central themes of the particular story. And next one, if we want to talk, that is the New Year Eve. The New Year Eve, that is the occasion when the story is, when the story is set. So it is the New Year's Eve. So the New Year's Eve that build a festive mood all around. That is also a theme in the story, The Little Match Girl. Now let's know about the use of symbolism in the story. Now Hans Christian Andersen has used symbolism in order to make the story much more effective. So symbolism plays a significant role in the entire story. Now if we want to talk about the use of different symbols, that is the most potent symbol in the story are the matchsticks. So the matchsticks, they are the most useful and most potent symbol. Why? Because it is the matchsticks the girl is actually earns her living by selling those, and it is because of those matchsticks that ultimately help her in the end to join her grandmother in eternal or heavenly and infinite joy and glory. So the matchsticks, they are the central symbol used in the story. Next, if we want to about the other symbols used, that is the roasted goose and the Christmas tree. The roasted goose and the Christmas tree, actually they create a festive mood in the New Year's Eve. Now on the other hand, the roasted goose, it's also a symbol of hunger as well. Now the third symbol we have here, that is the fireplace. The fireplace also symbolizes warmth the girl is desperate in need of to protect herself from biting cold. And again we have the final smile on the girl's lip. When the following morning the girl's body is found, when the girl is found frozen to death, there is a smile of contentment on her lips. So the smile on her lips suggests that the girl is actually having pleasure. It signifies her pleasure of attaining the intimacy of her grandmother as well as heavenly joy and glory. Now talking about the use of irony in the story, irony, we all know that's the difference between two things, what is said and what is meant. So irony mainly consists of the discrepancy between what is said and what is meant. Now here in that particular story, the author Hans Christian Andersen, he has basically used situational irony. Now what is situational irony? Situational irony denotes the difference or the discrepancy between something which is expected and something which it ultimately turns out to be. So basically the situational irony has been used here by the author in his story, The Little Match Girl. Now if we want to talk about the use of this situational irony, the basic situational irony is that the chief situational irony in the story is that although it is New Year's Eve, in that grand occasion, actually New Year's Eve, it is an occasion to be celebrated in pomp and prosperity, but despite it is New Year's Eve, a little girl dies in cold, hunger and poverty, being deprived and neglected. So this is the situational irony that is presented in the story. Now if we want to talk about the other usages of the ironies, we can see here the following morning, when the girl ultimately dies, the following morning marks the beginning of the first day of the new year, but it begins with the death of the girl. So that is also quite ironical. And next one, if we want to talk about, that is people on the following morning, when they discovered the dead body of the girl, when they discovered that the girl is frozen to death, people failed to recognize the implication of the smile on the dead girl's lip. There is a smile on the lips of the girl, but people who discover her frozen to death, they do not understand the implication of that smile. They actually fail to understand that they actually remark that the girl must have tried to keep herself warm using the matchsticks. So apparently they seem to find the reason to use those matchsticks, but they never know the implication of the smile she has on her lips. We want to talk about the title, the appropriateness of the title of the story. We must see that it's quite a suggestive title. The title of the short story, The Little Match Girl, echoes the name of the protagonist, the little girl. Now the little, that is, she is the little and unfortunate girl who dies from cold, hunger, poverty and negligence. The matchsticks she sells to earn some money, ultimately they become the keys to reach infinite joy and glory, as well as the intimacy of her dear loving grandmother, though as at the cost of her life. So ultimately it is the same matchsticks she uses to get the company of her grandmother, as well as she reaches the plane of infinite joy and glory using the same matchsticks. So that is why in that sense the title of the story actually bears an appropriate and suggestive title. Now, in order to get access to the story, we need to know the meanings of some of the key words in the story. First one we have here huddle. Huddle means to nestle closely. Second one we have tucked. Tucked means to fold or turn something, to fold or turn something to hide it. The third one we have here, that is prunes. Prunes is actually the dry plums which is normally used for decoration or garnishing any food. Fourth one we have flared. Flared means to sudden outburst. The flare means the sudden outburst of some emotions like that. Then we have evidently. Evidently means which is very clear or clearly. Next we are having this shackly streaking. Streaking is long thin lines of different colors, that is streaking. Next one we have gauze. Gauze, we all know it's a material. It's a material, a thin transparent fabric, that is gauze, a thin transparent fabric. And the last one we have here, that is china. China refers to the china clay, utensils here made of china clay. I hope this video will be useful to you and you will find answers to your several questions regarding that story. So thank you for watching. Once again, I would like to request you to subscribe the channel and also the share and like the video if you find it